wanted to stay inside here, get good weather work. Went through our kicking script. One thing that'll be for sure, I think Alec Lerner will kick off, and Kyle French will be our field goal and PAT kicker until further notice. Phil won't be at the game. He'll be at the game, but he won't be kicking. Otherwise, injury-wise, everybody's back. Sherrod Cadigan, Manessa's right on the verge. I don't think he'll play in the game, but he should be able to go on Oregon State preparation. Looks really good. So have gotten all those guys back. Havenstein, Dean, all the guys that had some ankles, Zeitler, Robbie Havenstein, all those guys are back and looking good.
What kind of range do you think French has?
I would say that I think personally he nailed a 53-yarder today in the last kick of his script. Has handled that pretty well. So I think, realistically, I would say 45 and in. But I would let him kick a 50-plus, like 52, 53, just because I've seen him make it.
The injured guys, Wozniak is
Woz is back. Yep, Woz is 100% back.
So he would be the third tight end.
He would. Sherrod would be all right in there too. I mean, Sherrod has missed over the last week. He came back for one day, re-injured, different injury, but he was out there practicing. Looked good today.
Wozniak had a good spring. Was he a guy did you still think can build on that?
I do. He gets right on the verge. He always gets injured. I know he's frustrated, but he's strong. I think he's in there. He'd be a little bit more like Jake, And Pedersen has been outstanding. So, very excited to see Ped really get out there and play.
Is he hindered at all by
Jeff Lewis?
Yeah,
Not really. It's actually a very small cast that's under his glove, so nothing is exposed and really hasn't affected his ball security.
Do you go in thinking you can get 2 running backs, carries, 3, or more?
I think in the first half, for sure, Monty Ball and James White would be what you see, but we'd sure like to get those guys rolling. I'm very excited to get both those guys. I think just pure speed-wise, Jeff Lewis might be the fastest of the group. I think Melvin probably has the most juice, of all 4 of them. So I really like the options we have.
Talk about your confidence in Colin Alec, knowing that Phillip's out, knowing the experience he kind of brings to the table. Talk about that.
2 different situations. Alec has been, he's kind of changed his body. He really transformed from where he was a year ago through spring and summer conditioning, just totally changed his physique and his leg strength, and has been booming the ball very, very well on kickoff. We had a little competition, I think I shared it with you, where he put 2 of them out of the back of the end zone out of 4 kicks. So he's been good. You never know how he's going to react, once the crowd's going. And Kyle French has kind of just been a kid that I've been very impressed with, from the recruiting process to the way he's handled fall camp a year ago to the way he handled the spring and now in the fall. He hasn't flinched at all, and hopefully that carries forward to the game.
Do you think Duckworth and Kenzel Doe will both be involved?
Limited. I think Kenzel's still big on him a little bit, just making sure he's in the right spot, doing all the right things. But I see him getting involved. I think the 3 main receivers right now, obviously Nick and Abby, but a guy that's really come on as late, Freddie Willis, has done a nice job. From a playing standpoint, we're probably playing more Fred Willis and not going to go forward with Jordan Frederick, just because I think the high-end scale on Jordan and our other freshman, A.J. Jordan, is off the charts. So I don't know if we've ever brought in a group of receivers as talented as those 3 guys.
That thumb's not a problem for Willis at all?
No, he's back 100%. The thing is, Freddie is probably the fastest guy on our offensive skill. Him and Jeff Lewis could probably battle it out, but Fred's extremely fast and big.
Are you a little surprised that he's emerged from that group, given, that's a small school.
Totally. The thing I think that Freddie has that is just natural, he just is a really good learner, quick learner. He's physically, genetically gifted. That body that he has without lifting weights, it's kind of freaky to think about where he's going to end up. But very conscientious, detail-oriented. I think because of the environment he had there at that school, it was very, very structured, and he's really benefited from being in our program.
How much have you seen the intensity level pick up the last couple of days?
It's good, but it's also a point where I think they're ready to hit somebody else. There's been a lot of Wisconsin. I think that ever since we started to get honed into UNLV prep, it's gotten a little more intense with the scouts and stuff. So I think they're anxious to play.
If Kyle French kicks well, will it be hard for Phil Welsh to get his job back?
Yeah, if Kyle comes in there and does what he's capable of doing, what I think he's capable of doing, but on the same account, Phil's done a lot of really good things, and I just feel bad for him, frustrated. I know it's a frustrating injury for him right now.
What are you most anxious to see in the first game?
I always say, and one of my things that I preach to those guys all the time is not what happens in the game, it's how you react, and I want to see those reactions. I have a certain reference with a lot of them. I've already seen how some guys handle it, but this is a different year, different scope, different chemistry, and really see how guys handle and react to adversity is what I look forward to.
Some of your guys have talked about the fact that this being a Thursday night game, they know a lot of people will be watching it,
Mhm.
teams they'll eventually play, and that they want to put on a good show and perhaps even send a message. Do you buy into that, or you just want to see you guys play well?
Well, I get it. I understand. I want them to play well. What I'm really guarded against, I'm the guy that usually, we're playing those Saturday games, and I've cut clips out of the Thursday games and the Friday games of miscues and of things that teams weren't prepared for, and we're going to be that first game, so hopefully we're not filmed for anybody else. But I can see their point, and I've made a big deal. I've said to them all the way back when we found out this game was going to get scheduled why we were on national TV. There's a certain amount of excitement about Wisconsin football, and they wanted to showcase it.
Is camp usually a barometer of that first game, or do you get surprises a lot,
I would say the surprises have become less every year I've been a head coach. There's always just a simple issue of a guy, not necessarily a freshman, but a first-year player that's playing a lot, maybe not remembering that he's on punt team, and all of a sudden they line up and you don't have a right guard, punt return, or a guy that's on the field and needs to stay out there doesn't and comes off the field. So that's always the frustrating part. Those things that kids just got to learn by ear, actually.
Are all your scholarships taken right now? All your-
No, not all. There's a couple of them that we had to rearrange because of medical situations, stuff like that. But don't have. There's actually no timeline on doing that.
Okay.